Hey everyone, Sean Smith here at Dedicated Commercial Recovery in Roseville, Minnesota. I'm the founder and CEO. We're doing our vlog interview series with none other than Sean Murray from deBanked. And we had this scheduled for just a one segment interview, and it ended up going longer than expected. And the content was so great that we decided to create a three-part series on this interview. So this will be part one. I hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, Sean Smith here with Dedicated Commercial Recovery in Roseville, Minnesota. I'm the founder and CEO. I'm here with Sean Murray from deBanked. Sean, welcome to the vlog.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Definitely deBanked has been a huge part of Dedicated's success, and we definitely appreciate everything that deBanked does for the alternative funding space and has done for Dedicated. So genuinely appreciate you taking the time to hop on here with us today. So we try to do these things kind of short and sweet and just get to know you a little bit and get your thoughts on a few things. So if it's okay with you, I'd love for you to just kind of jump in and give people kind of your background personally and professionally.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't know if anyone saw, but yesterday on LinkedIn, I posted that it was my 15-year anniversary of having worked in fintech. In 2006, I started at a company called Merchant Cash and Capital, which became BizFi. And they were one of the first alternative business funders in the entire industry. Now, I haven't been there in about 10 years. I've been in the publishing side for a lot longer than I was on that part of the business, but that's when I got into it. That's how I started deBanked. And so in around 2010, I started deBanked as a blog. And since then, we've added newsletters, a magazine, and we also do events, as you know.
Yep. And, it's funny. I don't know if it's appropriate, but I was just going to jokingly say the people at BizFi haven't been there in about 5 either.
It's not just me. No one's there anymore.
but they are scattered throughout the industry. I mean, it seems like everybody I run into has a tie there. I mean, even when I saw that you posted that, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I remember," commenting on it. So. I'd love if you tell the audience more about deBanked, and just what got you started in it. Why did you start it? How is it done through COVID? And just what do you see it, growing to in the future as kind of really, from my opinion, and I'm sure yours, being the main source of information for fintech?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you feel that it's the main source of information. The way that deBanked started is I was actually a broker in the merchant cash advance industry. This was after BizFi. And I felt like there was no information that I could learn on my own about the industry that I worked in. And I had worked in it for quite a number of years already. And I couldn't believe that nobody was talking about it online. There were no articles. There was no trade journal. There were no conferences. And I said, I'll just start putting things up there and hopefully people will be able to find it valuable, and I didn't know if anyone would read it. So I just started putting some stuff up on a website. It wasn't even called deBanked at the time, but I started putting things up on a website, and it just kind of took off. And I've always enjoyed writing, so it was good. It was a good kind of setup to get into. Mm-hmm. And it grew over time, and we added a print magazine to it. We grew a huge list of subscribers, and we added an email campaigns, and it's just, as you know, it's taken off. We started focusing a lot on the payments and merchant cash advance industry, but our website isn't, merchantcashadvance.com, right? That's just one aspect of the world that we cover. A lot of people know us for that particular side of it, but we called it deBanked because it's about finance outside of traditional banking, because there are so many people out there who can't get products through a bank. And so we try to write about all of those different things, whether it's consumer lending or business lending or not even lending at all, non-lending related finance products. But we've always had a good niche and loyal base and the small business finance side of things, in part because that's where, I came out of. As far as where are we going to go? You asked about COVID, how we've been going through COVID. It's been quite an interesting year. I know what it's been like for the lenders. I've talked to a lot of them. But being on the publishing side and on the event side, it's been a little bit different. On events, you can't really do events, at least not in person. And I haven't really thought that virtual events are going to be the future. And we're very fortunate that publishing has always been our backbone, right? We have a website, we have news, we have content, and I'm very thankful that that's what our primary business was, because we've been able to get by just fine. In fact, you can't tell from the virtual background, but I actually have a full office of people still here, right? And so it's been tough, but I like to think about things in a way of how can I use this to take advantage of what I could be doing differently, right? Because if things are always the same, there's no impetus for change. And the first thing I thought about as far back as March is, what should I be doing differently? And it got me thinking about long-term ideas, long-term strategies that maybe I should start thinking about implementing now. Yeah. And so, I'm not entirely prepared to tell you exactly what our next step is, but it will involve something of deBanked being more of a community digital platform, kind of the best way to allude to it. I don't want to do things the way they were done in 2010. I think what we've learned from this whole pandemic is that the way of life is a little bit different. And if I want to be here in 2031, which I do, then I can't do things the same. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing in the future.
I share your philosophy. It's been a great time for Dedicated to, evaluate and remind ourselves of maybe what the future might hold and long-term vision, and invest that time into internally being even stronger and growing. So I totally understand you there.
Again, thank you for tuning in. We're going to do this in a 3-part series, so tune in over the next couple weeks as we release the other 2 portions of this interview. I think the content is great. It's going to be a lot of looking forward to 2021 and beyond. What's next for deBanked? What's next for the fintech industry and alternative finance? And I think you'll find a lot of great information as we continue this series. So thank you as always for tuning in, and God bless.